A good way to welcome him to QuakeCon. Again, welcome to the deep end. Welcome to the grand finals. We got Sib, we got Rapha getting ready here on Blood Covenant. Let's go ahead and kick this off. Going to be following, oh, I wonder whose clutch that is. In fact, we've got the clutch on Sib, actually spawning it, immediately dropping down for some pressure on LG. Not too bad at all, but he's going to be dashing over for a rail before getting the pickup for armor. But Rapha is going to see him dive for it, so he's going to know the timing on it, so not a lot of subterfuge there. Sib is just going to be going for the raw damage, and that one rail has given Rapha enough of a opportunity or enough of an excuse to go for that mega, but really good rockets. But here's all this LG, 8 HP before popping the shield. Is it enough even against that that Dyro? But whoa!
Oh no!
All right. Welcome to the fold, Sib.
Wow.
Whatever happens now, that frag made it worthwhile.
Wow. Big turnaround. It looked like he was done. I'm surprised the Dyro just missed. And oh my gosh, there's 100 rockets there.
Defense systems initiated.
Okay, he's gonna prove me wrong. So he's saying, "Oh yeah, I heard you, man. Screw you, man. I'll show
And
you."
It bears repeating because we probably haven't seen this matchup in a while, but you can actually see Nyx through the shield of Clutch's shield. So you know, remember that little nuance of the gameplay. But this machine gun for Rapha, shedding that Clutch right back down. Rapha with his Nyx now up against Sib's Ranger. Gonna keep my eyes on Sib actually for this one. That's because Mega's gonna be coming back up. Oh, thought my client was gonna crash. Got lucky there. All right, nice. But Sib's gonna
You jinxed yourself earlier. No crashes today, man. It's not happening. We're good.
Of course it would be during the final, but Sib taking away a rail and going silent here. I appreciate this. Just looking and listening, knowing that Rapha's got Ghost Walk on the ready. Here's the play on top of bridge. And yeah, Sib's not going to be hidden down here, but is pretty much daring. Oh my god. He traded that rail with a 100 damage rocket.
How did he?
Nicely done.
I'm amazed. Like, it took me a second. I did a double take. Like, that rocket? What? The rocket landed?
Alright, so Sib just avoiding some of these rockets, going for the close range fight. Almost baiting out that Ghost Walk, but Rapha knows exactly what the stacks are here. And that means a rail for Rapha, putting him on one frag to go in this round to open things up. But again, no matter what else happens, that opening frag from Sib, yeah, we deserve to see this guy on land now.
Oh yeah, that was a nice rail by Shane. By Rapha, excuse me. But yeah, that first frag was definitely highlight worthy. I think if anybody chat clipped that, it was definitely good. But nice comeback by Rapha again, just showing his consistency as a player. Just really good stuff. And he his mechanics just seem sharp. You know, Rapha's not really typically, most people, you know, consider him the high kind of aim player, right? I mean, even though his aim is obviously really good, but most people don't say, oh, he's like, you know, people say like Claws or Toxic or people like that are really aim centric. But he just seems like, look at this. I mean, he just seems mechanically. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he's hot. I mean, he's cool that if he's hitting shit like that, excuse my French, but I mean, he's going to be really hard to beat. Oh wow, how did that not tell a frag?
Do you think Sib made him mad?
But I don't know, man. Does Rapha even get mad? I thought he was emotionless in duel.
I don't know. The more I watch him stream, the more I think we see a little bit of that come out. So, but really good stuff from Rapha here. Really great double frag. And Sib actually saving Clutch for last. Let's see if this can be his saving grace in round 2. He's going to be eating a rail before that shield gets popped up. Really good return on the rocket, though, but he loses any kind of height advantage or any kind of opportunity to bring the fight back to Rapha. But Rapha actually drops down, but another rocket to rail combo.
Yes, laugh, LOL. Exactly. He threw that rocket down there, like predicted, hey, it's going to come around banana. I'm going to just kind of throw this one down there just in case. And of course, it just pops him up perfectly for the rail. Oh, that's just, man.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Rapha's like, I knew. And that's the stuff I was talking about. That's when you play that off as a player. I knew you were going to come around. Right.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I knew the rocket was going to pop you up like that, too.
Wow, Rapha rocket jumping to avoid some of this machine gun damage. And, of course, as a Ranger, you take a bit less damage from rocket jumping. So, not a bad play at all. But now that Sib's got himself a railgun, Rapha wants to bring this fight right back to him. But it's going to be double rails akimbo to give Sib that frag. A little bit of celebratory gauntleting there, too. Carving his name in the wall.
Yeah, I think his plan was just the rocket jump up, close distance with a little lightning, and throw the orb at him. Just
Yeah.
throwing a guess out there, and then Sib rained on his parade with the rails.
All right, so trying to keep a plus back here over to armor, but finding an exit here is not going to be so easy. Whiffing one rail is going to cost him dearly, as he won't have an opportunity to even switch and make another shot. So Rapha's going to take that frag right on back. Sib now on his clutch. Rapha realizing that and going, maybe I don't want to get directly up in your face right now.
Yeah, not right away. Not right away. Definitely wants to get some damage out there. He knows he can get across hard. Nice rocket. It's a good prediction.
Fantastic.
I mean, it was an obvious rocket, but it was just he placed it well and timed it well. And wow.
Wow. All right, so we've got Rapha doing 2 great rockets and then rocket jumping right back out of here, eating a rail. One more from Sib would do it, but he's not going for it just yet, eating a rocket instead. Rapha's going to take away this 25, but it's not going to put him in the safety zone just yet. This small armor could be the trappable item, but Sib is leaving it. Now we've got 8 seconds to Mega. Rapha's going to take all these small items to get back into a fairly normal stack, and that should give Rapha this Mega.
Stopwatch.
Yeah, Sib's actually, he's got a shield, but he doesn't have much stack. He's going to need this heavy. Yeah, he's going to back off. Now he's kind of in a problem, because even with the shield, I mean, Rapha's so stacked. Yeah, he's going to use it defensively now, and now it's just gone from bad to worse.
Yeah.
Because even if he got to use it offensively, I mean, there's no guarantee he's going to do enough damage anyway to finish.
Rapha knows it. He wants to shut it down, even taking the rocket jump right back in. And there's the double shotty to finish up that clutch. It's Ranger time for Sib.
Whoa.
That's a nice spot.
Unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It honestly almost worked out for him because he almost got the dire warp there. I think even Rapha was surprised he was right in his face right away like that. But yeah, it's just good stuff by Rapha. Hate to sound like a prophet right now, but yeah, it's kind of going.
But I will remind you that 8 HP rail from Sib was amazing. Nobody can take that away from you, Sib.
And yeah, 10 for 12 rails by Rapha, 83%.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
For a second, I interpreted that as him hitting more rails than he shot, which I probably wouldn't have actually doubted. But really good stuff there from Rapha. Blood Covenant is a map, though. Like, Rapha comes from Quake 3, comes from Quake Live. You know that map. Like, it's in your DNA. Me, I never quite got there with that map. It's usually been one of my least favorites, but certainly not the case here. And we're going to be going over into the next map very shortly. And I'll remind everybody that this is best of 5, so things aren't quite that dire docks for Sib just yet. However, he's going to need to really prove himself in the next one, or at least slow things down a little, and Vale provides a great opportunity to do that. We should see some Galena play. We should see some, well, Keel, maybe? That might not slow things down, but we'll see what happens.
Keel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more of a speeded up kind of thing with his nades, but yeah, he needs to make an adjustment. He needs to come back. He doesn't want to drop down 2-0 for obvious reasons, not just the fact that he's playing against Rapha, which is great, but I've mentioned it before in other events that at this level, winning 3 maps in a row against these caliber opponents, very tough to do. Probably unlikely. Good luck with that. I'm just speaking from my personal experiences, competing. It's just all these guys are top-notch players. They can beat you any map. So being down 2-0 and putting yourself digging yourself a grave like that, you have to claw your way out and win 3 straight. It's very tough to do. Very tough to do.
Absolutely. So we're going to be going into Vale of Pnath here. Map 2, Rapha up 1. And that one was a little bit more on European pace for how Blood Covenants go. I keep having this argument with Europeans, and this is not going to turn into an NA versus EU thing, I promise this time. But we have vastly different opinions on Blood Covenant, and we really do play that map differently. I'm not just like jesting by saying Europeans just run at each other, but there's a lot more aggression on Blood Covenant in the EU than there is in North America. And we're going to see that come to a head at QuakeCon, which is just a few weeks away, but this is going to be one of the many paving stones to get us there. Rapha spawning Ranger, taking away heavy armor, and not going down for rocket launcher.
Oh, that was oops.
He didn't want to miss seeing Sib fail a rocket jump up to Mega. Why was Sib trying to rocket jump up to Mega?
No. Oh my goodness.
I'm confused.
But
Rapha's going to do the nice thing, just kill him and go, all right, let's start this anew. Wow.
So, oh man, they ate that one. So we're going to add to the list of pro tips we have today, so people can add to the list. Pro tip, don't fail a rocket jump at the start of a duel.
No.
Probably a good idea.
Maybe don't rocket jump at all. Maybe just take that nice teleporter that's right there for you. Don't you know?
Nah.
All right, but we
Remember
hear...
I told you about being Hollywood and showing off? It's more important to rocket jump and look good than it is to walk through that teleporter.
Yeah,
but why make it easy on yourself?
Keep part of that phrase, looking good. And Rapha just immediately went, oh, that means a free mega for me. Just dire orb right up there, and he did exactly the right thing. All right, but here's a drop down. I like this ambush from Sib. I mean, maybe not an ambush. Rapha knew he was going to be dropping down, but still pretty good damage. And actually, that time, he got completely behind Rapha, but totally whiffed with 2 rockets. So Rapha's still going to have a bit of advantage coming into this play for armor, which is going to be 9 seconds before Mega. So this is going to be a pretty nice little loop for him, but nice rail coming out of Sib. Again, that's kept him alive for a long time in a lot of these rounds. So let's see if he can use that to turn into a play for Mega. Rapha might actually end up have to give it to him.
Yeah, he's going passive on the Mega. Oh man,
Nice.
that rocket. Ouch. That's gonna change Sib's orientation a little bit. I don't think he's gonna fully go. I don't know. He'll go for this heavy.
Yeah, it looked like Sib wanted that small armor, but Rapha cut it off from him. And to Sib's credit, he didn't end up committing. Some nice tribal angle to keep Sib off that heavy. As Rapha's actually, again, rocket jumping back up, not quite failing it. And my god, this bounce to bounce, rocket to rocket, heart to heart, Rapha is going to be taking that frag off of the the Ranger, leaving Sib with this clutch. And again, saving clutch for last is something I've been seeing Sib do lately, or at least against Rapha, and I'm not so sure about it.
And I would like to point out, I mean, it's veterans will obviously have seen it, but the newer players, like the subtleties. Oh, I don't want to interrupt this right here. Okay, as he gets the frag, but, the frag, as I was, the frag before that, when Rocket jumped up there out of the Mega Portal exit, a little stutter step he did at the doorway before he went through made Sib miss that shot. Sib was going to time the shot, and just a little stutter step like that, change the timing, like just stop for a split second, and then continued walking in the room. Threw Sib's shot off just enough so it missed, and it gave him the initiative to fire his shot first.
And again, at the beginning of this round, it looked like Sib kind of fell off of the Tro after taking away armor, and Rapha nearly carried that through into a full frag, but he just went, all right, cool, let's go get Mega. Only thing is missing right now is a rail. He's going to be looking to have a fight against him. Oh, what a great rocket jump.
Nice.
That angle. Holy
Good
crap.
position change.
And Sib just barely survives. And another rail to turn it around.
He knew he needed help. He noticed there at the last second. He's like, wait, I can be railed. And he went to jump for it. And nice shot by Sib to get the frag. He was in bad shape, so good job to get out of that with his life and then turn around and get the frag.
So again, Sib with these life-saving rails, and I love seeing a bit of scale bear coming out of Rapha here. Now that he's died, we actually get to see it. But Sib has actually got his back up against the wall, and that wasn't a scale bear thing. That was just not being able to get out of that room thing. So Rapha's still going to have his ability on standby up against a clutch that could actually work out pretty well. The damage is good, the knockback is even better, and that can get a clutch off your back. But this is going to be a tough angle for it. Rapha's going to use it to run away. And yeah, he has to jump out of the dashboard to get on that Mega, but he's just a little bit too early on the Mega. Can't get the pickup, can't get the health, and so Sib is going to get that frag.
A big turnaround. Now we got clutch versus clutch, but wait, it's got a shield in 20 seconds. Gotta go for those hourglasses.
Penetrate my defense.
I'm sorry. It's that stare down with the shield. Is
Especially with the face, yeah.
And you know Sib's like, yeah, and you know he's just sitting there like, you know he's lining up that shotgun.
Yeah.
It's just lining it up to make sure he doesn't miss.
All right, so Rapha's going to be on his clutch here still, down to the last champion in this round. And yeah, this is certainly helping out Sib a lot, but he's had some really bad starts on these rounds. So Rapha's going to be a little bit slow coming up the staircase. In fact, he's not even going to come up at all, going to leave it. Armor's going to be back up, turning it right back around, dodging the Dire Orb, using the shield well, and here comes the shotgun. Is he going to whip with it or not?
He did not. I would say that's a not.
Yeah.
Looked like Gibbs to me. That was a good job, man. The turnaround again with the shield, eating the lightning gun, dodging the orb. I thought that was Sib's big play there, was the orb. Once that missed, it was all up to Rapha just to land those shots, which he did. Took his time. He knew he had the time. He didn't panic. A lot of people would have panicked in that situation.
Yeah, and again, Sib isn't having the best start here. Like, he's able to take away armor. He didn't take as much damage this time around, but he's not able to push it through to anything like a rocket launcher or get an early weapon. So he's got Tribal here, but in this fight for a rocket launcher, he's in real trouble. Rapha using that Dire Orb to close off an exit and even spam up a rocket, which, if it weren't for that pesky wall, would have killed him.
Oof. A little short on ammo there. He needed his rockets again.
Nice LG. Nearly knocked him off of the play for the armor itself. But this defensive Tribolt's going to give Rapha pause, but he wraps right back around, right into the atrium. Goes down to 1 HP off of that totem.
Jeez.
Oh my god. That Mega's going to get it back in tip-top shape.
Now.
I know he's going to say yes later, but I'm going
big.
to ask him if, you know, you had 76 health. Was it worth going through that totem? Or through that TP? Yep. Totally. Absolutely worth it.
Totally.
Alright, so nice Tribolt there. Sib is going to be super low here. 5 seconds to Mega, but you can't be here. And actually coming down here into the LG room, yeah, it's trouble.
So done.
Right here in River City.
There's and he dropped down to that little cubby. It was one thing to go in the room. It was another thing to drop down in that little area with the slime. There's no way to get out.
Yeah, this is a map that really punishes you if you're not careful about your footsies leaving certain atriums. And Rapha just still going full ham here. Sib not quite able to get this armor. He's looking at it wistfully, wishing, hoping, praying, but it's not going to be his. Rapha getting the pickup and looking for the finisher.
Oh, he switched off a rail.
Yeah.
He got him anyway. So
yeah, there's not really a good way out of here.
Good read, though. I like that. It just shows the intelligence again. He just read him like a book. He was there waiting for him.
By the way, shout out to the one person in chat who got the Music Man quote. So you're a gentleman and a scholar. All right, but we got Sib down to his clutch. Let's see if he can make good on the namesake here, as Rapha's got full stack and a fresh pair of heavy armor. Pair of heavy armor, right? Yeah,
full stack.
Yeah,
pair.
Mm-hmm.
Dire Orb up, full stack. Gonna be tough.
Looking for these rails against clutch, but actually not quite getting the hits he needs. Super Shoddy could do it. That's enough to bait out the shield, but this drop,
Yeah,
he was ready to die. That was a lemming play for sure. All right, so that's going to be 2 up for Rapha.
The orb.
Man.
Yeah.
So somebody mentioned that, you know, despite how Sib is playing, he psychs himself out a little bit playing against Rapha, and I certainly wouldn't blame him, but, you know, maybe the answer to that is to take a Post-it, maybe a little piece of tape, put it over that part of your monitor that says his name, and then problem solved.
Says his name.
You don't know who you're playing. It could be anybody.
Or
you could be playing against one of the bots. No big deal. Could be playing
maybe
against
he needs to
Cringe
go
Fiesta.
like a sports psychologist, you know, those people who can help you break through that mental barrier, you know, have exercises where, you know, they'll put Rapha's face on something and you got to, you know, talk trash. You got to build your confidence, you know, you got to hit it and stuff and, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Is that where you role you see yourself acquiring here pretty soon?
It's like a self-help thing. Yeah, I'm there. It only costs you guys $500 an hour. Yeah, Quake psychologist, $500 an hour. I'm worth every penny. Trust me.
That beats the rates of certain coaches I know. So you know that's all right. All right, so we're going to be going into.
At the very least, you'll be laughing.
Can guarantee it for sure. All right. Map 3 coming up. It's going to be Ruins of Sarnath. Last chance here for Sib. And again, I can't wait to see this guy at QuakeCon. He's been such a joy to watch, you know, both on streams and in these online tournaments, but nothing beats LAN play. And honestly, nothing beats it when you first get there and you realize, holy crap, this is so next level. The atmosphere is different, the tension is different, but you can't just play, you can't help but play out of your mind. But we're going to have to see if he can get a few dents in Rapha's armor here, or even take a map. I really wouldn't mind seeing this go to 4 or even 5 maps. It's going to be up to Sib, though, here on Ruins of Sarnath.
There's Slash. I was wondering if Rapha was going to bust out Slash again on Sarnath, and here she is. So it's going to be tough. Like I said, Sib can do it. He's talented, but said my head was objectively telling me 3-0 Rapha. But I threw in the 3-1 because I really think Sib's a talented guy, and I like watching him play as well. It's kind of touch on what you were saying. And
well, you can defend your ego a little bit here because you thought that one would be corrupted key.
Put it together
if we could get that far.
Yeah, well, yeah, if we can get that far. And yeah, that was map number 4 though. But I did say maybe net fail, but boy, that got nipped in the bud really quick. Fail as soon as the fail rocket jump, started the match that way.
Yeah, that wasn't a great way to start things off. So here, Rapha's going to get a cleaner start, and even without an Anarchy, he is going for that LG rail play. This allows Sib to potentially, use his own piercing sight, realize that's what's up, take away both items. He's already taken away Mega. He's going to get armor as well as a rocket launcher. So Rapha didn't really get anything out of this initial setup. Like, if he was a little bit faster, if he was able to come back into Mega and challenge that with his new weapons, that would have been something. But here, he's given a lot of control over to Sib.
Yeah, very peculiar start to the map, to say the least.
Yeah, if you're going to do that kind of thing, the speed certainly does help out. So he's still going to do some decent damage with Tribolt, having to duck away from that rail, though. 5 seconds to armor. He's looking for Sib the wrong way, though, and here comes a lot of potential damage from the rockets. He's going to leave it, realizing he's railable. Sib maintaining control here for the moment. And Rapha, he also didn't get that Mega either, so he doesn't know exactly when this is coming back up. Still 10 seconds away. Going to try to hover around top T. Avoiding this damage is important, though. Oh, but down to 8 HP, and there's the rail to finish him off. Good job from Sib.
Yeah, nice. Yep, good job by Sib maintaining control. Again, I would have to say tactical error at the start by Rapha, right? I mean, he didn't end up with either major item, and it came back on from there.
And I like this potential on the rail, just kind of daring him to show up. It's still 18 seconds away, so Sib, he can kind of troll out this corner for a little bit of time, but he can't afford to do it forever. Still 10 seconds before Mega comes back up, so Sib's still got the opportunity to collapse on this and put a lot of pressure on Mega. Up, but he's eating these rails.
Nice rail.
Is Rapha going to come back for more? He's peeking the corner, and Sib is stabbing it right back in. There's the piercing sight. They're actually pretty well offset at this point. So Sib, another beautiful rail. Is he going to drop down onto LG? Yeah, Rapha thinks that's the way it's going to go. He doesn't want it to happen, and one more tick would have done it. In fact, he's still pretty weak. Sib looking for the finisher. The rail goes wide.
Careful here.
And Rapha can get away.
Oh, man. The pursuit really cost Sib a lot because he didn't get the frag, and now he gave up position on heavy. And so Rapha, I think he's going to probably teleport back up here. No, he knows. I thought he was going to make a harder push for Mega. He is now.
I mean, credit to Rapha. He realized he was in trouble.
I think he was a little unsure on timing.
Yeah. Still a big play over top T. Oh, Sib's got to watch out for these rockets. And there's the orb. I didn't even see that one get launched. It was so fast. But that's going to be Rapha taking the frag back as well as armor, and things are starting to get a little bit more normal here in terms of, knowledge of when these items are coming up. But there's a play through the teleporter, and it's going to be a clutch play. What is... Just wiggle your LG back and forth, man. It's all good. All right, there's another orb.
Oh, no. Man, this is good stuff from Rapha, man. I mean, it's pretty amazing to watch. Like, even the dire orb earlier, it's the way he positioned himself, the lightning gun, and the way he came over there, he forced Sib into the corner like that. He did that on purpose so he could come around the corner and just directly dire orb him and leave no room for error. It's basically like he came around the corner, it's a guarantee, and it's just but he walked him into that. With his weapon selection and with the way he was choosing the angle. So it's just interesting to watch. I try to point that out maybe for newer people to see wow, he just came around and dire orbed them. It's like, yeah, but he set it up with the angle he took in his weapon selection.
And just as much, I got to give Sib that one. He did a really cool route off of Mega and rocket launcher. Oh, one more rocket would have done it there. Tough fight. But most people don't take that directly over to nail gun, and most people don't catch somebody on a jump pad as they're doing so. So good movement from Sib to take that first frag. At least it's going to be clutch v slash, a matchup I haven't seen in quite some time. But Rapha's going to be skating back out of there. 3 seconds to Mega. Rapha coming back through the teleporter though, looking for this rail, looking for the hit on clutch. There it is. That's going to make this Mega mostly the recovery. But did he get dropped down to the bottom of the eyeball? Nope, not quite. He's able to get that pickup.
Oh, he got it.
So Rapha staying defensive here, but still stabbing out with some great rails. Even with his size reduction, it's so hard not to hit rails on clutch. Like, he's just so eminently hittable. Which is why it's so hard to justify playing Sword-like still for me, personally. I mean, I'm not Gillisack, obviously.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, that's good push. Good push by Sib. Yeah, Rapha thought he could get out of there and maybe turn around and use the slash movement, but he didn't have enough space and time.
Wow, look at this. Rapha's
Oh,
pushing it forward, and he gets it. The starter
yeah.
shotgun, gotta respect it. Such good stuff, especially when you can close the gap with a clutch or a dire orb or something that gets you right up in their face. Rapha now 1 frag away from taking this round, but Sib, if he can get clever, might be able to do something. But this trap wasn't exactly a trap, and Rapha whips it back out to take him down.
Just missed that dire orb, and then good turnaround 180 rocket from Rapha. Just again, mechanically, I mean, Rapha's always, known for his intelligent play, but mechanically, he just seems really sharp to me right now. It's really causing a problem.
Yeah.
It's like it's bad enough. It's bad enough in terms of just his tournament history and it's just overall game sense from his experience as a player. But then you add on top of that where it just seems like he's feeling it a little bit. And shoot, man. Good luck. Good luck, man.
Yeah, so what we had there was one of the odder spawn pairs on this map where both players are a little bit far away from their item, but Sib, he still managed to finally take away a railgun after realizing, hey, if I don't have a rail and I drop into LG, I'm going to have a bad time, especially from the jump pad side. So Sib, avoiding the close range fight, but also eating another rail. Getting this mega before getting completely railed out, and then doubling back to top T. Heavy armor is going to be taken by Rapha, and Sib is going to go, all right, fine, you take heavy, I'm just going to take whatever I can.
Yeah, one of the things you can do if you're Sib and you want to try to slow the paces down and make sure that Rapha really doesn't get steady control and kind of make it, I don't know, murky, I guess, is you can always make sure that the items are on the same timer. So just kind of avoid and be like, if he's taking heavy, I'm going to make sure I pick up mega, like don't separate them. Just try to keep them like identical as best you can. And that way he always has to make a choice. And that kind of gives you a little more leeway in terms of escaping. Unless, of course, he abandons both and cuts you off and gets a frag, but that's on you to read the player and all that stuff. But at least then you can try to keep him from running both items.
Yeah. It's been some good trades here, and speaking of trades, it's going to be a traded frag.
I am feeling blue.
And we're going to be seeing Rapha on his slash here. Sib's going to be on his ranger, but man, look at this movement now. Yeah, slash is back, baby. At least in terms of movement.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Early beta, she was just like incredible movement-wise, and through all the changes, I think it's settled back down into a really good spot for her. But he's looking for a trap here on rail. Nice.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that slash. That was beautiful movement.
He's still looking for that rail on the jump pad. Not quite going to get it here, but we do have heavy armor taken away. Mega's going to be up, and Sib actually can't get to it. Rapha's going to realize that and close him off. Oh, but he gets knocked around the pillar. Sib, if he plays his cards right, he could get back, but he's going to dive down into the armor pit instead. That's not going to give him anything in terms of items. And in fact, he might not be able to escape here. Yeah, once you move into this atrium, you're kind of stuck, even more so by that slime trail. But Rapha lets him go. He's coming back around for another pass. And it's like he never even left. Oh my god. Even with all the dire orbing and all the movements, Rapha is just all over him.
Too much speed. Too much speed, man. And then, yeah, like, even that they said, it's like, oh, he's going to let him go. It's like, no, he's not, because he just came around so fast. He just took another angle on him, that's all. It's the same problem you can run into with Anarchy. You just get so used to movement speeds on other champions. When somebody starts whipping around that fast, it can really throw your timing off.
Oh, look at me go.
That
a
voice,
little
though.
tiltiness here. Oh!
Alright, so slash has been slashed, but that leaves Sib with not a whole lot here. In fact, he's going to go for these 225s, which after a frag is pretty much a, come at me with a shotgun, please.
Dire orb up too.
There it is.
There
you called it.
Round three complete.
Yep.
You lose.
Big game. I mean, there's not much he could do. I mean, his clutch was really low, and Rapha knew it, so he was just going to push him wherever he was. So good job by Sib. It was, a valiant effort, but he's up against a beast, man. He's up against a legend, no joke.
And that means that 3 seasons in, we had to wait for Rapha to, you know, be in the country and, you know, not be commentating. But he's going to enter the Quake Open League North American Elite and take first place. So congrats to him. But really, the big story here, not only with Rapha